Sherlock Holmes. This is a name that 100% of the people watching this video would have heard at least once in their lives. In 1891, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle gave life to Sherlock Holmes. It was a character that completely transformed his life. Until then, Doyle had experienced many phases of poverty. It was through Sherlock Holmes that he became the highest-paid writer of his time. Readers from all over the world eagerly waited for his Sherlock Holmes stories. But after some time, something unexpected happened. In 1893, in a story titled The Final Problem, the author killed Sherlock Holmes. It was an incident that shocked readers across the world. A single question arose in everyone's mind. Why did Conan Doyle kill Sherlock Holmes? May 22nd, 1859, Scotland. That was the day Arthur Conan Doyle was born. He was born into a family filled with severe poverty. Moreover, due to financial difficulties, they were never able to live permanently in one house. They lived in many rented houses. His father was an artist, but more than an artist, he was a complete alcoholic. Because of his father's excessive and improper behavior, Doyle's childhood was extremely difficult. Because of all this, his mother wanted to keep Doyle away from his father. Thus, in 1869, at the age of 9, Doyle left for England to study at a boarding school. During his school days, the letters he received from his mother were his only comfort. At that time, the only profession that could improve one's financial condition was becoming a doctor. So after school, he joined the University of Edinburgh to study medicine. During his student years, he did many jobs to meet his expenses. It was during his medical studies that he met a professor. His name was Joseph Bell. He was a famous surgeon at the university. But the reason for his fame was not just his surgery, but certain special abilities. If he saw a patient for the first time, he could tell where the patient lived, their profession, their financial status, and many other details. This was due to his sharp powers of observation. This particular ability of Joseph Bell deeply fascinated Doyle. At that time, he did not know that he was watching the inspiration for a character that would change his destiny. After completing his studies, Doyle began working as a junior doctor in southern England. Since he was only a junior doctor, the number of patients who came to see him was very low. It was during this time that he began to write. He started with short stories. Some were sent to newspapers and magazines, but none of them were published anywhere. Still, this did not discourage Doyle. After some time, he began writing a novel. It was a detective novel. Doyle was determined that the detective should not be an ordinary one. So he began observing many different kinds of people. Suddenly, a thought came to his mind. Joseph Bell. Why not give some of Joseph Bell's qualities to the detective? By combining Joseph Bell's powers of observation with Doyle's brilliance, he created a unique character, Sherlock Holmes. It was through that novel that Sherlock Holmes was born. That novel was truly revolutionary. It was very different from the detective novels that existed at the time. There were many reasons for this. Doyle created Sherlock Holmes as if he were a living person. Even though the character was extremely intelligent, Doyle also gave him certain bad habits. Such realistic character creation was something new at that time. Because of this, some readers even believed that Sherlock Holmes was a real, living person. During this period, both Doyle and Sherlock Holmes continued to grow. The Sherlock Holmes stories gained worldwide fame. Arthur Conan Doyle became the highest-paid writer of his time. For readers, Sherlock Holmes' stories became an addiction. This was the peak of Doyle's career. And it was at this very peak that he made a shocking decision. In 1893, in The Final Problem, Sherlock Holmes was killed. He dies after falling into a waterfall during a struggle. Once again, readers across the world were stunned. The same question echoed everywhere. Why did Conan Doyle kill Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock Holmes transformed Doyle's life. He achieved immense financial success. But creatively, Holmes became a burden. Doyle did not want to be confined to just one character. He wanted to write many different kinds of novels, especially historical novels set against ancient wars. Moreover, because of Sherlock Holmes' overwhelming popularity, Doyle's other works failed to receive the recognition they deserved. People expected only Sherlock Holmes stories from him. He had lost his artistic freedom. However, removing Sherlock Holmes was not as easy as Doyle had imagined. After the final story was published, protests erupted worldwide. Doyle received countless letters, some pleading for Holmes's return, others issuing threats. In London, people even wore black mourning bands. More than 20,000 readers canceled their magazine subscriptions after Holmes's death. Though shocked by this reaction, Doyle stood firm in his decision. Gradually, the public forgot Holmes, and Doyle focused on other works. Nearly 8 years passed. Doyle began thinking about another crime thriller. He considered it one of his finest stories, but it required a detective. He did not want to create a new character. That's when the thought occurred. Why not use Sherlock Holmes? Thus, after 8 years, Sherlock Holmes returned. Interestingly, Doyle did not resurrect Holmes directly. Instead, the story was set before Holmes's death. The story became immensely popular. Once again, pressure mounted on Doyle to write more Sherlock Holmes stories. Even publishers urged him to bring Holmes back to life. One publisher suggested,
Holmes fell into a waterfall, but the story never mentions finding his body. Why couldn't Sherlock Holmes have survived?
In 1903, Doyle finally wrote the story in which Sherlock Holmes truly returned. From then on, Holmes transcended books, appearing in films, television series, and beyond. Sherlock Holmes became a character more famous than his creator himself, perhaps the most famous fictional character in history. Even today, almost every detective story or film carries, knowingly or unknowingly, the influence of Sherlock Holmes. Yet, when we think of Sherlock Holmes, we often forget the man behind him, Arthur Conan Doyle. Without Doyle, Sherlock Holmes would never have existed.